Hello, my name is Daniel Yuck. Thank you for watching today. I appreciate you, your time, and your support. In today's video, I want to share with you this multifunctional tattoo chair by a company named POARMEEY. I will go ahead and leave my Amazon affiliate links and other affiliate links for you to the gear featured in this video so you can check it out on your end. Should you have any questions at all, I encourage you to drop a comment down below. I'll do my absolute best to assist you in the best possible direction. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and ring that bell for me, as I will be bringing more videos like this for you. I do also have social medias under the same name as my YouTube. I have Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok, all under Daniel Yuck. I would appreciate the support over there as well. With that being said, let's get right on into this. First and foremost, I would like to thank Mummy for sending me out this multi-purpose tattoo chair so that way I could bring an in-depth and honest review for you all. I genuinely appreciate the opportunity. Stay tuned as I may be doing a giveaway of this chair and many other tattoo machines, either or, so be sure to stick around for that. Subscribe and ring that bell for me. One thing that I do notice is that this package is packaged nicely. Everything is well protected is what it looks like, as well as the box. It doesn't look too beat up at all, just a little ding right there as you can see up top. So once I cut it open and remove the top of the box, we are greeted with a user manual. That's the first thing that I see right here, and that's what this is in my hand. I figured we start by taking a look at all of the contents and everything that comes within the box. From there, we can assemble this multi-purpose chair and then kind of test it out so that way we can get an idea as to what we can expect from this specific multi-purpose chair. So I'm just going through the manual right here quickly just to kind of get an idea as to what I can expect from assembly. And in my opinion, assembly is actually pretty easy. It's not too difficult at all, in which I'm going to explain almost every, if not every step of the way for assembly. So that right there is a user manual. We have some styrofoam. This right here is going to be the top portion of this multi-purpose chair. So let's say if we're using it as a chair, this is going to be the part where our back kind of leans against, and the part where we sit on is a bigger pad than this. Now off the bat, one thing that I am noticing is like the craftsmanship isn't necessarily like grade A, but it's not bad either. So what that means is it's definitely going to hold up if treated right. However, you can kind of see though, some of the trimmings on the leather aren't necessarily perfect. Now, does that interfere with quality or performance of this specific pad? I have yet to find out, but at first glance, it doesn't feel bad. It doesn't feel, you know, cheaply made or like it's going to come apart on me, which is a good thing. So moving on here, the next thing that we have are some wheels. This right here is the pad that we will be sitting on. I kind of think the same thing applies for this pad right here. Although the craftsmanship isn't like grade A leather and we're not, you know, getting seamless cuts, it's still put together nicely. As you can see, it's still nice and padded. It does have a nice soft cushion to touch there, so to speak. This is the POARMEEY emblem. And at first impressions, in terms of like quality, I would give it about maybe a solid 4. It doesn't seem cheap, or it doesn't seem very, you know, high end. However, it does seem put together nicely is what I'm trying to say here. Allow me to show you all ends here so that we can kind of make that judgment for yourself. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think of the quality so far. But at first impressions, again, it's not like super high end and it's not super cheap, but it is nice and clean, and I do like the way it looks. Everything is nice and tight, and for a better perspective, this is the size of the seat that we are going to be sitting on, and it does again have a nice little squeeze cushion there to it. Moving on, this is the frame. So this is essentially what's going to kind of house and hold everything together. I think that we're going to put this connect to the bottom, and then we're going to connect the pads to this right here. I will explain more on that here shortly, but here is the frame. The frame does have a little bit of weight to it, however, it's not overbearing, and it also doesn't feel flimsy or cheap. So if I am sitting on this, I do feel like it's going to hold up and stand the test of time. You can see that there are welds, and the welds look nice and clean. Nothing really stands out, or nothing really screams cheap for me right now. At first impressions, it's looking pretty cool. I'm a little bit confused on the design, so I'm eager to see how we're going to set it up. So for those who are, you know, kind of confused on the design, you're not alone. Bear with me. We'll go ahead and figure all that out here. Once we do get familiar with the setup, assembly will be easy. Here we have some more tools. Here we have some more screws and what looks like, you know, some sort of bolts there. I'm not too sure. We're going to go ahead and take a look closer at everything else. Here we have some more screws, and it looks as though We have some sort of tools, and you can kind of see just some washers. So some pretty standard stuff that is to be expected with a setup like this. Again, in full detail, I'm going to let you know where all of this goes. And here's some sort of like plastic washer as well. Beneath all of that, we have a sort of like little, maybe I would say like some sort of adapter crane that's going to go on the top, and that's where the top pad is going to actually go connected to. Right here is where the seat is going to go connected to, and we are able to higher and lower it as well. We're going to get to that here in a moment. I kind of wanted to show you everything that's within the box so that way you could know what to expect from that aspect of this multifunctional chair here, or multi-purpose chair. This right here is going to be the base. This is going to be where everything is kind of built off of. We're going to attach the wheels to the bottom if I'm correct, but this right here is what the base looks like. So you can see that this is everything that comes within the box. This is everything that we can expect, everything under the hood here, so to speak. On a scale 1 through 5 in terms of how hard assembly is, it's going to be a definite 1. It's not really difficult at all, but I'm grateful that there is a user manual. So we're going to take a look at that now so that way we can begin assembling this thing correctly according to the manufacturer. So this is what the chair should look like when we are done setting it up. And even just kind of taking a look at this, we can kind of get an idea as to where these pieces and components are going to go. But in terms of screw size and specifics, that's to be determined. You can see here it's kind of giving us some kind of fundamental rules as to what we should use, what we should be mindful for. You don't want to over tighten. So if you get this and you're tightening it up, avoid over tightening. I have a bad habit of wanting to over tighten things, and I've had some very bad experiences of breaking screws and or doing damage that was kind of irreversible. So just please don't over tighten, and I would recommend doing that or applying that fundamental to pretty much anything that requires screws or tightening of any sort of screws. This right here is kind of the blueprint of all the components and how it's all going to go together. And again, taking a look at this, we can kind of get a good idea as to how we can put this all together. But we are still going to go in a step-by-step manner here for those that want to see assembly. So you can see this page has a list of all the hardware, and if I'm correct, these are all the contents. So we can confirm if we have everything to set this up. Everything that's within this page or on this page should be listed right here. As you can see, all of the hardware and everything that's on this page is actually listed right there in front of me, ready to be assembled. So let's go ahead and get on into that. We can see step 1 is requiring us to grab the base and essentially screw the wheels on into there. So that is where I'm going to begin. For the sake of demonstration, I'm just going to assemble it as the user manual suggests, so that way we can get an idea as to what we can expect from assembly as well. Again, I will be leaving my Amazon affiliate and other affiliate links for you in the description below so you can check out the gear featured in this video on your end. And once again, should you have any questions at all, I encourage you to please drop a comment down below. I'm going to do my absolute best to assist you in the best possible direction. Okay, back to step 1. All I'm going to do is flip the base upside down. So now you can see the circle inserts facing up. I'm simply going to screw these wheels on in there. These wheels are screwable, so all we're going to do is kind of line it up and screw it in as we would any other screw. The process itself, much like all the other steps, is very straightforward. This right here is step 1. After we've completed step 1, it should look a little something like this. You can see all 4 wheels are screwed in, ready to go, and I'm going to flip the base upside down so that way I can proceed with step 2, which is essentially mounting this sort of zigzag frame to the base itself. So that's what we are going to do next. We're going to need, as you can see, 6 A screws. So I'm going to have to go and find the packet with the letter A on it. It should have around 6 in there, and then from there I'm going to mount that zigzag frame to the base. If you were wondering if this is going to be a 2-person process, I wouldn't say that it is. It isn't necessarily hard. I kind of just think that we should be a little bit more proper with the technique in terms of how we choose to go about mounting the frame to this base. So what I'm going to do specific is I'm going to use one hand to hold the zigzag frame while I'm screwing in the other. So you can see I'm going to place the zigzag frame down. It's important to remember the placement of the frame. So you're going to see how I have the point of the zigzag right here. I'm going to face it on the outwards end of the base. So you can see the base plate has a plate. The zigzag sharp end should be facing outwards of that base, as you can see. From here, I'm going to hold it in place, and then I'm going to begin to apply the screws. We're also going to need these bolts right here. So you can see on the next page, these bolts are listed under B. We're going to need 6B bolt as well, because the screw has to have the bolt on the other end, so that way the zigzag frame can mount to the base. I like to open the packets and just kind of place them down in front of me, so that way I could easily access them when I'm doing my thing here and assembling everything. So you can see that I'm going to hold it with my left hand. I'm going to place a screw in. You can either place them all in, or you can do them one by one. I noticed that when I place them all in, it makes it a little bit more difficult for me to kind of screw the other one in. I prefer a one by one method. But let's say if you can't do it like this and reach the bottom because of whatever reason, you can again use one screw, place that in there as you see me doing here. You can see I tilted the base and I'm holding it with my left hand while I screw in the bottom bolt with my right by hand as far as I can get it. I will go back and tighten everything when I'm done. You can see when we've completed, this is what the base should look like. Something is now taking shape here with this multifunctional chair. So now we're going to move on to step 4, which is this sort of crane right here. I'm not really sure what to call this right here, but we're going to be applying this plate. It's really important to remember the side that this plate goes. One side of the zigzag end has a sort of rigid end and the other side is smooth. And the same thing with this sort of plate right here. We want to line the rigid side up with the rigid side because that is the locking mechanism that keeps that top pad in place. Without that, it's kind of going to slide. So this is the idea. You can see this plate goes up top and this can move back and forth, so that way we can function this chair as we see fit. So moving on to the next page here, now it's telling me to go ahead and simply get the screws that I need, which are going to be these right here. Now, all of this is straightforward. This is going to go on one end while this silver sort of mechanical tool right here goes on the other. There's a little sort of like bolt here as well. I'm going to give you a close-up shot of all of this and me kind of applying everything here. But right now, this is where we're at. So this is the next step. Assembling this little area right here isn't too difficult. Once you see like the rigid sides, you're going to know exactly what I mean here. This is what that rigid side looks like. So these little ridges right here lock into place. There's one rigid side right here, and then there's also one on the zigzag. We're going to place this plastic washer on the smooth side of the zigzag end where there is no rigid end. So just keep that in mind. On the plate, it goes rigid to rigid and then smooth side to smooth side. I'm going to get this sort of little mechanical tool. I don't know the proper terminology for this, and I'm just simply going to screw this in. And on the other end, I'm going to use the washer that came with this set, and I'm going to screw that longer screw in right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and fix as needed and then just kind of tighten to hold it in place so that way I could finish assembly. So after that, we're going to move on to the next step. So we're going to get this plate right here, which is listed as 5, and then we're going to place it down into that middle area of the zigzag body. We're also going to use these 2 number 8s to go ahead and lock this sort of seat right here into place. So this is the number 5, as you can see, that's in my left hand, and then I'm going to use those number 8s right there to place in there to screw in and lock this sort of seat into place. Now, if I'm correct, this is adjustable. If we want it lower, we can draw. I think I put it on the mid level. There's sort of a lower height, a mid height, and then a higher height there. I think that's pretty nifty. I love it so far. Now, I'm not fully understanding the concept as of now as I'm putting this together. But again, once I put it all together and started using it, then I realized and it dawned on me how much multi-purpose this actually has, from finger tattoos to arm tattoos. We can do head tattoos as well. We can also do chest tattoos with this. There's a lot. We can even practice, which is one of my favorite things. It's kind of like its own little station that we can kind of move around. All we have to do is put some saran wrap around it, place our face skins on top. You get the idea. I'm actually going to demonstrate that. Let me not get carried away here. The next step is going to be to install this seat. So here I have these screws. I'm going to open them, place them down next to me, and then on top of that, we're going to install the top rest as well. So right now we're going to do the seat. This is going to be the bigger pad. Within this bigger pad, I'm going to face it indentation towards the zigzag bar, which is facing front. I'm simply going to screw it in. This process, much like all the other ones, is very straightforward. Same thing with the top part up there. This is what it looks like after the seat has been installed, and we're just about almost done here. All I need to do is install that top area, and then I think that's pretty much it. So from there, it's going to be essentially the same process as the seat. However, it's just going to be a smaller pad, but with the same size screws. Same thing, I'm going to go ahead and do that indentation facing the inner area where the pad is. I'm going to line it up and then just simply screw it in from the bottom by hand. I prefer to screw it in by hand as far as I can get it, and then from there I can use a tool to kind of tighten everything into place. I don't recommend to over tighten. Keep in mind, we could ruin anything if we over tighten it. So tighten it just right, not too much, not too little, and then you have the chair. Here is the multifunctional chair all set up and ready to go. At first impressions though of this multifunctional chair, it feels that of like a school desk, if that makes sense. Something that's at a comfortable level to where we can kind of lean over and just get to work. You can see that practicing was made easy because of this chair right here. I'm going to demonstrate some multiple ways that we can go about utilizing this chair. You can see if we were doing any sort of back tattoos, we can use this to do that. If we were going to go ahead and switch it over to just maybe like even a regular chair, it's going to be easy to do that. So this can be used in multiple ways, hence the name a multi-purpose tattoo chair. All we have to do is kind of swivel this top pad right here in a manner that we need, and you can see it acts as a normal chair right here. What I really like is that back portion could be adjusted so that way it can be, I guess, optimized for the client comfortability. So you can see I'm kind of going to tilt this back rest right here a little bit up so that way the client, so to speak, could lean against it and kind of lean back throughout this session as we apply the tattoo right here on the arm. So you can get the idea. This can really be optimized to a client's comfort. You can see right here I'm using it for a finger tattoo. Right here I'm using it for an arm tattoo. You can see that this area is a nice size area, and I'm able to really find some stability because I'm able to place both of my hands on there. It doesn't, again, have a cheap or flimsy feel to it off the bat. It has a nice stable feel. It can also be used to go to sleep on as well, as you can see right here. So at first impressions, I'm loving this multi-purpose tattoo chair right here. I do love the design. I love the construction, the build. It doesn't have a cheap feel to it. It doesn't feel flimsy either. It does feel nice and stable. If you are looking or on the market for tattoo furniture, I would recommend checking out a multi-purpose tattoo chair like this, so that way you can really get the most for your buck. You can see that it can be used as a chair. It can even be used as a table. It's also going to be easy to wrap, and you're going to see me use this a lot more. So be sure to stick around and hit that subscribe button, so that way about a year or so I can give you, some feedback and let you know how this is holding up if I don't end up giving it away to one of you all. All in all, I'm going to give this a 5 stars at first impressions. I do hope that you can find some value within this review, and I do hope that you can get some insight from this chair specific if you were looking into this one. Yet again, if you have any questions, please drop them down below, and I'm going to do my best to assist you in the best possible direction. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and ring that bell for me, as I will be bringing more videos like this for you all. I do also have social medias under the same name as my YouTube. I have Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok, all under Daniel Yuck. I would appreciate the support over there as well. With that being said, I thank you for your time and I appreciate you watching. Have a great day. Are you wanting to develop your tattooing skill sets? Now you can practice and develop anytime, any place with an assortment of tattooing workbooks that I've created. With these assorted tattooing workbooks, we can practice our basic lining all the way to advanced lining. We can practice shading, shading placement, dot work, textures, and more. All we are going to need is a tattoo workbook of mine. We can use a pencil, pen. We can even use a tattoo machine with a ballpoint cartridge to develop our tattooing abilities further. That means that we don't need tattoo ink, we don't need napkins or petroleum jelly to get to practicing. Simply open one of my tattooing workbooks and get going. It really is that easy. You can get your hands on one of my developmental tattooing assorted workbooks by simply clicking the links in my description or in the pinned comment section below, or navigating on over to Amazon.com, typing in Daniel Yuck, and you'll see all of the assorted tattoo workbooks that I've created come up. If you have an Amazon account, be sure to follow my Amazon author page as well, as I would greatly appreciate your support. Should you have any questions at all, drop them in the comment section down below. I will do my best to assist you in the best possible direction. Are you needing or wanting tattoo guidance? What about 4K high quality step-by-step follow along tattoo sessions? Or maybe one-on-one tattoo support to get answers to your questions that are specifically tailored to your wants and needs as the artist? You can now become a Patreon, where you will gain access to high quality 4K exclusive step-by-step follow follow-along tattoo sessions. I will be tattooing with you in a one-on-one step-by-step manner where I will be explaining what I am doing and why every step of the way. I will also be doing this in a high-quality 4K format for your optimal viewing experience. On top of the one-on-one support and on top of the step-by-step tattoo session guidance, you will also gain access to exclusive tattoo stencils that you can download and place on your end to further develop your skill sets. I will leave a link for you in the description or in the pinned comment section below, or you can head on over to patreon.com/Daniel Yuck. When you become a Patreon, you will be getting one-on-one support where you can ask me as many questions as you'd like that are specifically tailored to your wants and needs as the artist. You will gain access to exclusive tattoo stencils that you can download and practice on your end. You'll also gain access to exclusive high quality 4K footage where I walk you through each and every tattoo session in a one-on-one step-by-step manner where I explain all the what's and why's along the way. Become a Patreon today. Thank you for your support in advance. I greatly appreciate you.